Hello, welcome into this week's edition of the Samford Sports Wrap-Up presented by Alabama Power. I'm John McAfoose, very happy today to be joined by JeNorri Armstead, our Director of Diversity and Intercultural Initiatives. JeNorri, I appreciate you being here.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you asking me to be on here.
Well, let's start by talking a little bit about your background. You are local, you're from Hoover, Alabama, and you spent nearly a decade with Hoover High School in their athletic department. What were some of your roles and responsibilities with them? Well,
I served as the assistant to the AD over there. I worked with Myra Miles and Andy Urban and just worked with a great group of coaches and staff over there. It was a great time. I was over all of our student athlete eligibility, the coaches eligibility. I wore many hats. I also was the person who did the calendar reservations for the gyms. So I had a lot that I did. I worked with our booster parents, and then just handling whatever needs popped up in our office. But it was a good time over at Hoover. I went to high school there too, so it was cool to go back and be able to work in the athletic office over there.
How and when did the opportunity arise for you to become a part of Samford Athletics, and what made you want to go that route?
Well, actually, I was just looking on the internet. Like, I had been in the high school for, like I said, almost 9 years, and we'd actually just moved to Homewood. So I just was kind of like, well, what kind of opportunities are around there? And I looked at Samford, and I saw that opportunity for the administrative assistant for the AD. I was like, that's what I'm doing at the high school. It might be cool to try it out in the college realm, and this is a great university. So I jumped on the opportunity to come over here.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you started off as the administrative assistant to Martin Newton, our director of athletics. You've taken on a lot of HR obligations over the years, including being a big factor in us hiring student workers, who we rely very heavily on here in the athletic department. When Martin first approached you about the role change and going to director of diversity, what was your initial reaction?
I was shocked. I was excited, and I was like, whoa, this is a big role to step into, because it kind of happened over the summer where there was a lot of uprest with racial and social justice issues. So I thought it was awesome that our department was taking the initiative to be like, hey, we're going to be more focused on diversity and inclusion in our department and kind of help across campus. So I was excited and honored to come on and step into this role.
When you see your title, Director of Diversity and Intercultural Initiatives, there can be a lot of different areas that kind of fall under that umbrella. For you, when you stepped into that role, what were some of the first few targets that you really wanted to hit on?
Well, first of all, I wanted to make sure that we create a safe space for our student athletes to be able to talk about the things that are happening to them, because honestly, we have to make the space to be able to have these uncomfortable conversations. Our student athletes of color especially are really hurting right now, just based on their experiences on this campus and off campus. And I know that's hard to hear for a lot of us, and some of the stories that I've heard, they're not easy to hear, but we have to be open to listening to them as administration, as teammates, and as coaches. We've got to have those uncomfortable conversations. And I feel like through those uncomfortable conversations, we can learn to practice empathy and be able to work to strive together to be more unified here on this campus and then outside of campus.
Talk a little bit about the Athletics Council for Equality that you've helped start, which features a lot of student athletes and now some coaches and staff members maybe also getting involved. What has the reaction been from the Samford student athletes for that?
Oh yeah, it's picking up. We have it started off, our first meeting was about 5 student athletes, but that was a good starting point for us. They are really excited to be able to have this platform, to be able to speak out and address racial and social issues on campus and just in life in general, and also have the opportunity to educate their teammates as well as administration and staff, and also have the opportunity to pursue community engagement. We want to get out into the community and really help our student athletes be able to share and develop relationships with youth in this community.
And even with these new roles for you, you're still handling a lot of the HR side and what some of your obligations were beforehand.
Yes, yeah, I'm still the point person for our HR department, and still handling contracts. I handle the game contracts, vendor contracts, so I'm still handling those issues as well.
I know it's still a pretty new role. You've only been in it for a few months, but looking long term, what are some of the big goals for you, over the next couple of years?
Well, we want to make sure this is an ongoing conversation. We don't want it to die. Like, this is a problem that's not going to get cured overnight. Like, it's going to take time, and so we just have to remember we're going to be patient, and we're going to make these changes as they can come. But we have to be willing to work together, and again, like I said, practice empathy. We have got to be willing to do what it takes to listen and try to put ourselves in other people's shoes to kind of see what some of our student athletes are experiencing, and keep building on those conversations, keep the dialogue going, keep it at the forefront of our minds. And I'd like to have, like how we have compliance training all the time, let's continue having some sensitivity training, utilizing the resources that we have on campus through the Office of Diversity and Intercultural Initiatives. Like I'm going to be teaming up with Dr. Denise Gregory, Janae Spencer, and Cameron Thomas, and just coming alongside them and making sure our student athletes are aware of the resources, the programs, the opportunities that are available through that office, and getting them better connected. So making sure we're practicing empathy, keeping it in front of our minds, keep the conversation going, and making sure our student athletes are connected to the resources on this campus, because there's so much that's available to them. Just getting them in front of the right people and building those relationships.
I know in addition to all the hats you wear for Samford Athletics, you've got a pretty busy life at home as well. You've got a husband and 3 kids, and if I'm not mistaken, you do some youth basketball coaching as well.
Oh yeah. We this past year we were super excited because we went undefeated, and then we won the championship for the 5th grade rec league. And let me tell you, we were super excited to get that done with that group of girls. So it's exciting. We love, like I said, I love athletics. I love being around sports. I'm very competitive, and it's hard to believe, the people that know me around here, I'm very quiet. So, but when I'm playing, coaching on the sideline basketball, I'm very entertaining, so loud. I mean, I love it. I love being around the kids and being able to help out any way that we can.
JeNorri, thanks for being here. I appreciate everything you do for Samford Athletics.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
That's JeNorri Armstead, Director of Diversity and Intercultural Initiatives. I'm John Matthews. That'll do it for this edition of the Samford Sports Wrap-Up presented by Alabama Power.